From sea to shining sea, America's favorite uncle, Bumpkin Bob.
Hey y'all, it's Bumpkin Bob coming to you with the Bumpkin Bob Show from beautiful Siloam Springs, Arkansas. I'm laughing a little bit because during the sound check this morning, we've been having fun here in the studio, just cutting up like we always do, which is pretty much everything we do. For announcements this morning, I got one that I really want to get out there. Hey, this is a happy birthday to Robbie Lawless. He's with TJS. They do drywall and metal studs. So Robbie had his birthday this weekend. So wishing Robbie a happy birthday. Want to make sure everybody remembers to go over and like our page on Facebook. Join the Bumpkin Bob Army. Follow us on Twitter at Bumpkin Bob Show. When you go over there and join the Bumpkin Bob Army, that's where we want you to email us or not email, but send us your Jobsite tales, because we want to hear yours. Been asking some of the guys around on the work sites if they got any good Jobsite tales, and literally so far I have not got one that I can actually do on air. So we got to tone it down a little bit, boys, and give me something that's maybe not so violent or so X-rated. That could be a good way right there. It's like some of them I might have to think about a little bit, and maybe I can get with my manager and we can edit some of this stuff out and see if we can actually read these on air. Some of you fellers. Another thing, I got a lot I want to talk to you about today. So we're going to jump right in and do a job site tale this morning. This particular job site tale we're going to tell actually does not involve my job site per se. And if you go over to our archives and our extra stuff there that members on the website get to see, you'll probably see this story in one of those clips. We're going to tell it again for everybody just because it is a hoot. I love this story. I think I even mentioned before that a buddy of mine that works for a general contractor, this is his favorite story about my daughter. And believe me, I guess we could call Walmart a workplace too, because there are people working in there. But I got another story we'll tell at some point it's really short, that involves her, that actually doesn't involve anybody working. But anyway, we're going to get into this other story. And here in Northwest Arkansas, we have a AA minor league team called the Arkansas Naturals. And we try to get out there at least once a year. Me and my daughter and son-in-law see the Naturals play. And it's just something fun to do. They have a great ballpark. It's Arvest Ballpark. And if you're in Northwest Arkansas, you need to run out there and actually see that ballpark and see a game. It's really great. But we had went to a ball game one night, and we're sitting over on the first baseline behind the home team, and having a pretty good time. It's a pretty good crowd there that night. But one of the ball players, and forgive me, I do not remember this kid's name, and I don't remember what position he even played on, but he's with the Naturals. And this is his job. I mean, they pay those guys a little bit of money to play minor league ball because they're trying to get a major league contract. So it was his job site. So we're going to tell it as a job site tale. That's basically how we're backing into that. But this little old gal kept coming over there every time the Naturals were in the dugout, waiting to bat. And when this little kid would come out to, warm up, be in the batter's circle, waiting for his turn to bat, man, she is just talking him up. She is in this little tank top and her little short shorts. And, I mean, everybody, she's standing up there for God and everybody see her. She was in front of everybody. They couldn't see the game. there's little rumblings here and there around about her. People just kind of griping about it. But this kept going on for several innings. And finally, my little daughter had just had enough of it. And as of course she pretty much says whatever pops into her brain, she's like, "Hey!" And that little gal turned around and she said, "He doesn't bother you when you're working down at the strip club. Why don't you leave him alone while he's trying to work?" Well, everybody just busted out laughing. And I'm thinking, oh God, this girl's going to come up here and there's going to be a fight. But instead, she just turned around and walked off kind of in a huff, never came back. So at least it accomplished that. But everybody was just laughing. It was the funniest thing ever. It was very appropriate the way she did it and told it. And I still laugh about it. I honestly think my son-in-law wanted to crawl underneath the bleachers. But it was pretty funny. And people were coming up and telling her about it afterwards. But that's just the kind of person she is. She just, if it pops in her little brain, she just tells it like it is. So I'm going to go ahead and tell the other story on her too, just because it's just about as funny. When she was still living at home, I was single dad, me and her would go to the grocery store like on I don't remember if it's a Tuesday or Wednesday night. It's just, we had a specific night that we went to the grocery store. And we were in there one night and we're going up and down the aisles like normal. And she's standing there by the buggy with me. And now she's not a kid, like 8, 9 years old. No. I'm talking about she's 16, 17 years old. She's full grown, so to speak. But we met this lady, and she was coming, our buggies were going to be passing each other, and she had 3 or 4 little old snot-nosed rugrats, and probably get in trouble for calling them that. But she was wearing an outfit, and I don't know exactly how to put this politely. It was an outfit that did not compliment her body. How's that for a good way of saying something? But as we passed, Stephanie decided it was her responsibility to help this lady with her fashion decisions. And she just told her. I was like, oh shit, Stephanie, you can't tell people that. Why? She's just like, somebody needed to tell her. That's just, because it was like a knit pant thing with a knit halter top that was just not flattering whatsoever. It just, I honest to God thought we was going to get shot before we got out of the Walmarts. Pretty much. Because that's just how she is. Oh my God, my daughter. Gotta love her though, because she's pregnant with my first grandson. God love him. Everest Kane, you got a hard road to hold, son. That's all I got to tell you. And while Grandpa's door will be open, I will not get between you and your mama, just so you know. That's your daddy's responsibility. Sorry, Dylan. Anyway, let's move on, because we got several things in my little pea brain that I want to talk about. And these are just bitches. I swear to God, I'm just bitching. That's all it is about it. But I'm going to anyway. Let's start off with the fact, and I've probably covered this subject before, but we're going to cover it again just a little bit. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. This week was the first day of fall. Summer is officially over. So we're into that fall season, and when I heard that, even though it's still warm here in northwest Arkansas and throughout Arkansas, my mind starts thinking about fall and winter. It immediately goes to Snowfall. It just does. And I have 2 pet peeves for Snowfall. The first one is when they say something about Snowfall, everybody in Arkansas, and I don't understand this in the South, everybody in Arkansas runs to Walmart or IGA or Harps or wherever they go, Mad Butcher or the Piggly Wiggly, and they buy up 14 loaves of bread and 6 or 7 gallons of milk. It's like, now people, y'all don't need that. Number one, when it snows here in Arkansas, normally, we get 3, 4, maybe 6 inches. It's on the ground a couple of days and it's melted. So what you end up doing is you got a bunch of molded bread that you end up feeding to the birds or feeding to somebody's pigs, and a bunch of gallons of milk that go bad that you end up pouring down the drain. People, when snowfall is going to hit here in the South, you know, if you don't have any groceries in the house whatsoever, I understand going to the grocery store. Buy you a couple cans of tomato soup and some Cheetos and you'll be all right. You don't need all that bread and milk. It just cracks me the fuck up to see people up at the counter with 2 buckies full of shit, and it's like, y'all know in 2 or 3 days it's going to be melted off. It's going to be back 40, 50 degrees in the winter, which is probably about our norm, and that's where it's going to be at. So you don't need all that milk and bread. It's like, have a little common sense. And with that comes driving. Now, you can do what you want, but I'm going to throw some facts out at you. It's like, number one, if I was a betting man, I'd say everybody that's listening to this that has insurance, if you have full coverage, you've got probably a $500 deductible on your insurance. Well, a day's pay, if you're making anywhere from $12 to $25 an hour, a day's pay don't cover your deductible, people. So why are you out there risking your life and somebody else's for a day's pay? Now, if you're a police officer or a fireman or a nurse or a doctor, I can understand you needing to go to work. Or if you're the guy driving the sand truck. Everybody else, your job is not that important. If it's not life and death, if you're not working in a nursing home taking care of elderly or working in something like that, you know, a hospital or fireman or police, I don't see why you think you got to go to work. You'll be all right. Especially if you're construction. If you're working construction and the building ain't even dried in, you don't need to be there anyway. Can't work with everything iced over. And even if the building is dried in, sometimes it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, stay home, have some quality time with the kiddos, watch some movies, eat tomato soup or vegetable soup, and just cuddle up on the couch. Hell, if you don't have no kids, whether you're, you know, a young couple that hadn't had any, or you know, on up and your kids have already moved out, cuddle up on the couch with a blanket and have fun with your wife or your husband. There's no reason for you to bail the hell out and go to work for somebody when you really don't need to. It's not that important. And then on top of that, you're putting somebody else's life in danger because some of you people don't know how to fucking drive on ice. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, sitting right out there in my driveway is a 4-wheel drive Chevrolet truck. But you can bet your ass, if there's ice and snow on the ground, it's sitting in the driveway and my fat ass is parked on the couch. I don't have no reason to go. You know, anything I'm going to do during the day, it ain't going to make a hill of beans to nobody or nothing. You know, now if one of my kids' life's in danger or I need to go to the hospital for that or something, I'll go. But just to go to work, nah, it ain't worth it. And I damn sure ain't going to run up to the Walmart to buy something. You know, if it don't get got, then it ain't going to get. That make any sense to anybody else? It didn't make a whole lot to me. So, when it snows this year, and you know it's coming, people, chill out on the groceries. You don't need 15 gallons of damn milk. And don't worry about driving. You'll be all right. Call up your boss and say, hey, I don't know if you watched the Bumpkin Bob show, but if you don't, you should. And Bumpkin Bob said, my job doesn't mean that much that I need to come in. You know, it's like, if you work in an office and I just don't get it. Some of you people can bring your laptop home, do your job from your house. You'll be all right. It blows my mind. People thinking that they got to be somewhere. Lordy, people be safe because it's coming. You know it and I know it. Now, right now, this time of year, Bikes, Blues, Barbecue is going on in Fayetteville. And no matter what you think, one way or the other, I'm going to do me what I feel like is a little public service announcement about Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, because it has got a bad rap the last few years. There's some petitions to not have it and this and that because of the noise and this and that. And quite frankly, you bikers ain't helping your own cause. What I'm basing this on is the fact that I pulled in to get gas the other day at a local gas station, and this particular gas station had 6 pumps. So it had, both sides, 6 pumps. So basically 12 people could be getting gas at the same time, the way this gas station is laid out. And it's a pretty busy gas station all the time anyway. Well, I pull in, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to grab some gas because I'm on empty. And 3 of the pumps have got motorcycles parked around them. And then the other 3 pumps have got people in line trying to get gas. Well, when I get out, I start noticing the fact that the motorcycles that are parked around the pumps, you're not pumping gas. You're going in and out of the building, getting drinks, and then you're all congregating around your motorcycles bullshit. And it's like, I know y'all are, you've took the week off, you're on vacation, and you drove from bumfucked Egypt on your motorcycle, and y'all are all having fun and bullshitting, you're on your little vacay. Some of us are still working. And I actually meant to look this up, and I forgot about this specific thing, but there's like 50,000 people, I think, in Fayetteville alone. But there's like 300 something thousand motorcycles are in town right now. So, the town has quadrupled in size. Well, those of us that live in this area are still working. And it's like we're not on vacay. I don't even go to Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. So you're not helping your cause by doing shit like that, blocking the gas pumps. Pump your gas and move around to a shady spot on the gas station if you're trying to get off and bullshit for a little bit. But don't block the gas pumps. That's just being asinine. It's like, and think about where y'all are riding. I was trying to go do a service call. I think it was yesterday, Friday. I don't remember if it's Friday or Thursday. But I'm cutting through. I'm trying to stay off the main roads because the bikes are just thick as thieves. So I'm cutting through some areas that are, number one, they're residential. And number two, they're old county roads that are now in the city, that are in city limits, that they are trying to upgrade. So there's road construction everywhere. And did I mention these are residential areas that I'm cutting through? And all of a sudden, everybody has to stop because there's like it's over 100 motorcycles riding in a group. Now, I don't know who laid out y'all's little trip that day, but this is someplace y'all didn't need to be. you basically shut down traffic at an intersection waiting for all of you to turn, that's already congested because of road construction. And it's like, go out Highway 23 or out Highway 412 and hit the old 412 over in Oklahoma, or go out Highway 16 out, all over east of Fayetteville if you want scenic drives, but stay out of the residential areas. There's no reason for y'all to be in there. And again, this is the kind of shit that hurts y'all's reputations or whatever. Have a little respect for the people that live here and don't act like total idiots. That part of the problem is right there. You people set up in an office building somewhere for 50, probably actually just 50 weeks a year, because a couple of weeks a year, y'all go to some bike rally. Well, you leave, you put on a bandana and a cut-off shirt that you probably never wear other than when you're riding your little $30,000 motorcycle, and then you want to act like a badass for a weekend and be stupid. It's like you're probably respectable people other than that, but you want to get this perceived biker attitude that you think you need to have. When, and to tell you the truth, most of you that are up here, if you actually met what I call some of the 1%ers, which are the actually badass biker gangs, you probably shit on yourself. So quit trying to act like those guys, because you're not. And be a little more respectful. Something that I found out and kind of looked up this week, because the whole thing is billed as a charitable biker rally, and they're supposed to be raising money for some of the local charities. Well, if you get to looking through the years since it's been done, they have raised somewhere between 15 cents and 65 cents per attendee for charities. It's like they're not even raising $1 per person. So if they got 300,000 or 400,000 people here, they're not even raising $300,000 for the charity. Some years they've done 15 cents a person. Jesus Christ, can y'all not pass a hat and get $1 a piece? It's ridiculous. And then on top of it, and this is the other thing I'm talking about, being respectful when you're here. The hotels and restaurants make a killing. I'm not doubting that. They make a killing this week. But a lot of small businesses are mad because they close down the streets they're on, or you people fill up their parking lots that actual customers can't get in, and they end up losing money. Some of them even just close for the whole week because it's stuff that y'all are not going to visit while you're here. You're not going to patronage, and their regular customers can't get to them, so they end up having to close. So be respectful of the fact that you're actually costing somebody their living to be here doing your little biker rally. And again, I know the restaurants benefit, but it's like today. Today is the Southwest Classic in Dallas is it AT&T Stadium? Jerry Jones's house, where Arkansas plays Texas A&M. Well, the locals here, most of them are not going to be able to go to their local watering hole like they normally do to watch the game, because it's going to be full of bikers. Now, to me, I think Fayetteville, especially the town of Fayetteville, that is all about the Arkansas Razorbacks, you think they would schedule Bike Blues and Barbecue on a bye week. If they'd have done this last weekend during the bye week, there wouldn't be no big deal. But now everybody around here either has to watch it at home or go try to find some place that they can squeeze in. And it's not you're not gonna be in your favorite watering hole with 60 or 70 fans all calling the hogs. You're gonna be in there with people that are from Oh my God, Alabama, probably. I mean, isn't that just what you want to do? Go to your favorite watering hole and have a bunch of bikers from Alabama in there talking shit about the Razorbacks? Not a good thing, people. Not a good thing at all. I mean, that's just, that scares me. Which brings up another point for me. I missed the Southwest Conference. We were actually competitive. It's like we've had that discussion at work a couple of times this week. We even were on the internet Googling about, what killed the Southwest Conference. And, a lot of people say that Texas, UT, University of Texas, is what killed the Southwest Conference. And, I read an article this week and online that they blamed Houston, TCU, SMU, and Rice for killing the Southwest Conference because they couldn't get their shit together. It was like Arkansas, Texas, and Texas A&M had to go to other conferences to be able to actually have a chance to ever compete for a national championship, because it got to the point that those four teams were either involved so much in NCAA infractions or just couldn't play, couldn't compete, that the bigger names weren't ever going to be able, they couldn't get no respect playing those teams every year as conference foes. And to tell you the truth, the article didn't even mention Baylor and Texas Tech at all. I mean, it didn't mention them as being top tier and needing to go to another conference to actually compete, but it didn't mention them as bottom. So I don't know which is better, to be in the bottom and actually get mentioned in articles, or be in that purgatory ground between the top three teams and the bottom four and not get mentioned at all. I mean, Jesus Christ, which is worse? Anyway, it just made me think about missing the Southwest Conference this week, and with the Southwest Classic being played. And God, here in Arkansas, there's been a lot of discussion this week about that and about what's going to happen, because A&M is not doing very well this year either. And, things that have come out this week, we had a couple of Razorback football players actually fighting in the locker room this week. So, some people were worried about that. I'm one of these kind of people that says, well, it shows me there's some life left in them. Maybe they're getting on each other's ass and case about what's going on, and maybe we can get something done. Maybe that's a good thing that they're fighting amongst themselves. Another thing happening in Dallas today, I don't know how many people realize this, and this goes back to the argument about Arkansas not playing any of the teams in state. Well, Arkansas State is playing SMU in Dallas today too. How's that going to play out? Because Arkansas State literally has a chance to beat SMU, who turned around. I can't remember. They beat TCU last week, did they not? And TCU beat the shit out of us the week before. So it's like, if Arkansas State wins and Arkansas loses today against A&M, that whole debate and debacle is going to blow up again. Which I can't blame people for being mad about that. I hope Arkansas State wins. I hope Arkansas wins. But even more than that, I hope Arkansas State wins. And then if Arkansas loses, Arkansas Razorbacks, people that don't live here in the state, I may have to specify that for y'all, because a lot of people, if they hear A-State, they think Arizona State. I'm talking about Arkansas State University over in Jonesboro. But if they win and Arkansas Razorbacks lose, it might, throw a little more light on what the problem is over here in Fayetteville. The thing that's got the most talk, which I don't know that this is right or wrong, but the thing that's got the most talk is the fact Arkansas has taken and made a uniform that basically looks like the Dallas Cowboys uniform, except it's red and white, cardinal red and white. Excuse me, cardinal red and silver. So it looks like the Cowboys' blue and silver jerseys and pants that they wear to honor Jerry Jones, who owns the Dallas Cowboys, he was born in California, but he was raised in North Little Rock and then actually played for the Razorbacks and was on the 1964 National Championship team. So they're to honor Jerry Jones, that's what they're doing with those uniforms. That's got a lot of talk this week, not only in the state of Arkansas, but in sports programs all over the country. That being said, you do that and then don't back it up. Oh my God. You know, they did the uniforms, and then if Arkansas State wins, and then they go down there and lose, you know, there's going to be a lot of unhappy people in Arkansas. There's going to be a lot of people like at ESPN and Fox Sports and some of the others that are pointing fingers because of the tribute you paid to Jerry Jones and then couldn't back it up with a win. It's not going to look very good. I mean, oh my God. It's like the worst case of setting yourself up for failure that I've ever seen. It's like it could turn out not being a good thing, you know? And I'm gonna go off a little bit of the Razorbacks and tie this in because of Jerry Jones and owning a NFL franchise. And we're going to talk a little bit of politics. Trump this week, and it's on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else, so you can get on there and watch it. He touched on the subject of NFL players taking a knee during the national anthem. And in doing so, he said that NFL owners, when their players take a knee, should fire them. He called them son of a bitches, too, in the video. He said they take a knee, they should get that son bitch off the field. Like, holy shit. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that agree with him. For one thing, if you go on YouTube to watch that video, before you watch that video, watch the video of Johnny Cash doing the old ragged old flag, I think is what it's actually called. And pull up one of them that has the lyrics and sit there and listen to that poem that he does and read the lyrics. And then watch that video and you're going to have a whole new appreciation for the American flag. Believe me. It's going to piss you off anybody that disrespects it. As far as I'm concerned, my personal opinion, and again, we're going to free speech, which I know they have. Everybody's got it. But when you disrespect the national anthem, you're disrespecting the flag, bottom line. And to me, you're also, your protest that you're saying is disrespecting every man and woman that has ever served in the military. Period. You know? And these people are husbands, brothers, fathers, sisters, mothers, and wives that have put their life on the line to protect and give you the right to that protest. So you ought to think about it before you actually do it, whether that's really the place you should be protesting or not. I mean, that's, to me, I feel like it's disrespectful. I'm not going to argue the fact that you have the right to do it, but it's disrespectful. On the same token, when you're an NFL player and you do it, I guess, how do I say this? It's different for the fan in the stands to do it because he's not working for somebody while he's there. But when you do it as an NFL player, you're on the job. You're working and representing that team, be it the San Francisco 49ers or whoever else it is. You represent that team. And to me, as an owner, it tells me if your players disrespect the American flag, then you disrespect the American flag. And I ain't got no use for you. Trump even went as far in his speech to say that if you're at a stadium and the players during the national anthem do that, take a knee, you should get up and gather your shit and fucking leave. You know, I go a little bit further and say that if a team's players take a knee during the national anthem, do not buy tickets to their games anymore. Be done with them. And don't watch them on TV. Let it be known to CBS and Fox, who air NFL, and I don't know who else does, but I know those two do, that if those teams are playing on that Sunday, you're not going to watch. And me personally think we should take it a little bit further and tell the advertisers, if during this team, you know, team ABC, whatever it is, XYZ, is playing, if you advertise during that, we're not going to buy your product. We're going to boycott you. Now, that's the thing that will catch their attention is money. Not buying tickets, not buying what the advertisers have to sell will catch their attention, because it's like somebody told me today, they're employed by that team to put fans in the seat. And if the fans aren't there, they're of no value. You know, I'm the same way. I'm employed to wire a building. And if I can't get it done on a timely manner, then I'm of no value to the company I work for. And they're going to fire me. Well, it's the same way with NFL players. If they're not fans buying tickets, fans aren't buying tickets, and they're not buying the overpriced concessions, then they are of no value. And the owners will get rid of them and bring players in that can put butts in the seat. Because that's the bottom line right there. It always is about the butts in the seat. Is it not? And if it's not, then tell me what it is about, because that's what it's about. But go online and watch that Trump speech. You know, it's there. Which brings up something else, because we're going to talk a little bit about Arkansas politics. And it's like, I want the fans of this show, people that watch this show, people that subscribe to this show, I want you to go and, you know, on our contact information and send us emails, or, you know, on Facebook, post videos. But please, especially the conservative people, because I covered this a few weeks ago about people talking about where was Obama during Katrina. Well, Obama wasn't even the president during Katrina, so I could give a shit less where he was at. Get your facts straight, people. If you're conservative and you're posting something on our website, please, please, please get your facts straight. You know, and make sure you can back it up. Don't just post shit to post it. You know, it's like the Trump video's out there. He says it. I know it's there. You can go watch it. You know, maybe we can even get it uploaded or something to our website. We'll see what we can do about that. But just make sure, because the liberal side, I mean, they love that crap. When we post, somebody conservative posts something that's not correct. So let's make sure we get our facts straight. You know, and somebody's going to say, well, that's somebody liberal posting that so that we look like idiots. Well, it may be. It's highly possible. But for those of us that are conservative, in nature. Let's make sure we got our facts straight before we start throwing that stuff out there. It just, I don't know, it's something that we need to think about and do. Before we move on to anything about politics in the state of Arkansas, I want to remind people that today we are playing A&M. I want to shout out to Woo Pig Suey. I hope Arkansas goes down there and wins. I don't want anybody to misunderstand that. I do want us to win. All I'm saying is, if A-State wins and we don't, and then all the hubbub that's been made over the uniform, there's going to be a lot more backlash. And believe me, I've talked to more than one person this week that wants the coach gone. I don't know that is or isn't the answer, but that feeling's getting stronger. And it's like I actually had somebody tell me today that if Mr. Broyles was still the athletic director, he'd already be gone. Well, he might be, but that it comes down to it's Jeff Long's decision now. It's like he is our athletic director, but I can't see this happening. But Nebraska fired their athletic director this week because of the poor start of the football team. I mean, Jeff Long knows his job's on the line just like the coach's is. So, I mean, it's his decision, and then people's got to stop and realize that Coach Bielema's got a huge buyout. So, I can't see that being exercised. Not yet. So, I think we're still going to have Coach Bielema through the 2018 season at least. Just have to wait and see how it goes. But there is a lot of discussion about that now. It's going to get interesting. It's probably going to get worse before it gets better. And I know people really don't want to hear that. Moving on to stuff here in the state of Arkansas. I want to give 2 shout-outs. These people do not sponsor this show, nor do they probably even know who I am, but this is just for our conservative viewers, people here. I try to follow and keep up with Jan Morgan. She is a Second Amendment advocate out of Hot Springs, Arkansas. She's certified to do concealed carry classes. She open carries. I mean, she is all about your Second Amendment rights. I try to follow her. And this last couple of weeks, I've started following Paul Harrell, who is out of Jonesboro, Arkansas, does a daily radio talk show. Really, people, you need to get on there and follow them. The big thing that was happening this week is, it kind of sheds a light on some stuff that we need to do as conservatives. Our Republican Party, which is, I guess you would call it conservative side, it's what's supposed to be our voice. It's kind of falling apart. Our governor he's Republican. He ran as a Republican, but he's taking a lot of criticism because he's kind of acting like a Democrat. And the one voice that's been out there really the loudest has been Jan Morgan. And the thing that happened this week was Jan was invited to speak at a Republican function in Craighead County, and I think it was called the Reagan Dinner, which she had accepted. They had already posted flyers. She had posted stuff to her social media, and folks, she's got about 1.5 million followers between all her stuff. So, I mean, it was pretty well advertised that she was going to be there. Well, a person, I'm not sure I should say his name or not, from Asa Hutchinson's office made some phone calls and sent out some emails, or at least one email, to trying to get them not to let her speak, which they ended up rescinding her invitation. Well, she went on Paul Harrell's show then. He had her on to talk about it, and in some way Paul Harrell actually got a hold of the email. Don't know how he did that. I'm sure he's got some contacts down at the state capitol. And, and then the guy at the capitol tried to deny, they got him on the phone, tried to deny he had done it. Well, he basically had been trying to pressure Republican committees, county committees, not to have Jan Morgan there because she's speaking out against the governor, because he's not acting like a conservative governor. He's not doing what we sent him up there to do, or sent him down there, however you want to look at it. Sent him to Little Rock, and I liken it to something a few years ago, a lot of years ago, that a congressman, a U.S. congressman from Arkansas did. And the whole deal is, I believe that if you're going to run as a Democrat or a Republican, then you should act like a Democrat or a Republican. And I believe that you should run for the party that most fits your beliefs. What makes me mad is when somebody runs for one part or the other, because, in the 80s, if you weren't running as a Democrat in Arkansas, you probably weren't getting elected. It's not that people were that liberal, but we still have it today in the older generations. People that say, well, I'm a Democrat, but they're only saying that because their dad and their granddad was a Democrat. But they still have conservative values. But back in the 80s, it was even worse than that, because they would say they were a Democrat, they would vote Democrat, but they had conservative views. Now, that being said, I don't care what you run, and I don't care if you run as a Democrat and get elected, or you run as a Republican and get elected. Once you're elected, you should not change your party affiliations. That pisses me off to no end, because to me that means you are conning the people of your state or your district. It's like, well, I'm going to tell them I'm this so I can get elected, and then when I get elected, I'm going to change my party affiliation. Well, I don't believe in that. So, Governor Hutchinson, you ran as a Republican. You need to act like a Republican. I'm not saying he's going to, in a year's time, come up and go, well, I'm changing my party affiliation. I'm actually a Democrat. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, from past history in Arkansas, we've had that done before. I don't believe in it. And I don't believe in somebody running as a Democrat to get elected and then changing to being a Republican, even though that's what I am. It's like, I don't look at it as, oh shit, we gained a seat. I look at it as we gained a liar. And I don't believe in that. It's just not something I condone, so to speak. So, whatever the reason, they got a hold of the email and then he denied it. And it's like, that's even worse. It's like, don't deny it. If you're going to do it, own it. That's all you can do. So it's kind of, this week has shed a lot of light on things going on in the Republican Party, because it seems to me like, in today's society, the way Arkansas has changed, that if you're going to get elected in Arkansas, you got to get elected as a Republican. And it seems like we've had some people that have ran as Republicans, ran on the the basis that they're going to do what we want them to do. And then they're getting down there to the state and they're kind of crawfishing and acting like Democrats, and that's not right. And then another thing, it's like the employees of the governor and people down there in Little Rock, if you're working the state capitol, you should not be sending emails and phone calls trying to pressure anybody to have or not have somebody on their program. Number one, you need to hear both sides, or you need to hear whatever, but you need that information. So don't be pressuring people not to have somebody come speak because they don't believe in what you believe in, and don't be pressuring them to have somebody come speak because they go more with what you want. We need to hear it all. So you need to stay out of it and let these committees, these local county committees, have their benefit shows or whatever they're doing and have whoever they want speak. And to me, I say to these local Republican committees and Democrat committees, have people from both sides come speak. Let's hear it all. Again, if you're going to say it, own it. If you're going to do it, own it. I do suggest to everybody that listens to the Bumpkin Bob show that you should go over there, either follow Paul or Jan, one of the others, Paul Harrell out of Jonesboro, Jan Morgan's out of Hot Springs. Jan is really big into this Second Amendment stuff. She is an advocate of the Second Amendment, and she's actually trying to protect your Second Amendment rights. I'm not too sure she would make the best first female governor in the state of Arkansas. I mean, I would vote for her if she would run. One thing about it, I would know that our Second Amendment rights are being protected. Because I know I'm a gun owner, and I would be willing to bet that most of the people that end up watching this show are gun owners. And she would make a fine one. I think she would even probably make a fine president for the first female president. I hope this video I hope Jan Morgan ends up seeing this. If you'll run for president, you got my vote. And also going to keep listening to the Paul Harrell show. I'm sorry. Want to invite everybody to go over there and listen to that too. Trying to think what else I had to bitch about today. I don't have a lot more to bitch about, I don't think. We're getting pretty close to the end of the show. We did bitch about our fall season coming up. Again, shout out to the Arkansas Razorbacks. Woo, Pig Suey. I got a buddy that him and his buddy, his other buddy, I guess you might say, lives in Alaska. And it tickles me when he's talking to him on the phone there at the office, because when they get off the phone, they both say, hey, what is it they say? Woo, Pig Suey, go Hogs, how about them Hogs? They got about 3 or 4 of those little catchphrases for the Razorbacks that they always say. Maybe we all need to start saying those when we hang up the phone, let everybody know we are fans. We are Arkansas. Good luck to A-State today against SMU. I actually hope they do win. That's just my own opinion. Again, want to invite everybody to go over there and like us on Facebook. Join the Bumpkin Bob, or the Bumpkin Army as we call it. Join that. Send us your job site tales. I really want to hear them. Try to get some of the guys this week, as I told you before, to tell me some job site tales on the job. And it got a little nasty and a little violent. It's like, y'all got to tell me something that I can actually use. But it was pretty funny. Shout out to my buddy Scooter. He is up there at Bodart, Missouri this week for, I'm not even sure what they call the thing. They're up there camping and doing like a primitive skills test and primitive skill classes, I guess is more of the deal. Shout out to all those guys. If you get a chance to see one of those, you ought to go check it out. Really and truly have really enjoyed this week. It's been pretty fun. My voice is kind of going again. This hour of talking boy, it's hard to work on an old boy like this. I have to drink a cup of coffee to get started, kind of warm up the old vocal cords. Anyway, we're going to get out of here, back on out of here. We'll see you next week here on the Bumpkin Bob Show.